Now we're going to do some drum fills. But first, what is a drum fill? Well, a drum fill is a rhythmic figure the drummer plays, usually as a departure from his timekeeping pattern that he's been maintaining. Drum fills usually fall in predictable spots. You think of a drum fill as if there's a hole in a song where there's not much happening, it's a good spot for a fill. Usually at the end of a section, sometimes going into another section, introducing part of a song, like maybe here comes a guitar solo, so a fill will bring that guitar solo in. Most fills are short and simple, and you don't want to do a fill when some nice singer is singing a pretty ballad and she's right in the middle of her line and you want to do your best Motley Crue fill. That's not a good time for a fill. But let's look at these fills, and these fills are on page 58 of your book. And this first fill is simply 2/16 at the end of that measure. And I tell you what, for the purposes of moving along, I'm going to play these exercises without the measure repeats. So you're going to hear the first measure, and then you hear that last measure with the fill. And I'll repeat each exercise. So here's exercise 1. In exercise 2, the fill is also on the 4th beat, but it's 4/16. So you're going to come off the hi-hat and play 4E anda on the snare, go right back to the beat. So here's number 2. Exercise 3, we just cut it a little short. We play 4E and at the end. Da da da. And here's number 3. Take a look at exercise number 4. It's the same rhythm as the one I just got through doing, exercise 3. The only difference is on the last note we're moving to the high tom. So it's 4E and. Da 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 back. Here we go. Now take a look at exercise 5. It's exactly the same rhythm again, except we're now incorporating 3 drums. 4E and. Da da boom. Da da boom back. Here we go with number 5. Number 6 is a little longer fill. It's 6/16 notes. So after the 3rd beat, that bass drum, you move off the hi-hat and you play anda 4E anda. Boom, ba, boom, boom, da 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 back. Here we go. Number 7 is even a little bit longer than number 6. We're playing 8/16. The last 2 beats of that measure, we go into the hi-hat and we play 3E anda, 4E anda back. Da 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 back. Here's number 7. And in number 8, the last one on this page, it's the same rhythm as the one we just got through doing, number 7. We're just dividing up the 16ths. 4/16 here, 4/16 there. Da 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 back. Here we go. Let's go on and do some advanced 8th note rock beats. to turn to page 67 of your book. This is lesson 19, Advanced Eighth Note Rock Beats. The primary difference between these rock beats and the eighth note rock beats that we did earlier was that in addition to bass and snare drum notes coinciding with the hi-hat, you have bass and snare notes falling in between in the 16th note counts. That's a little tricky at first. Let me play something for a second. Number one sounds like this. I'm just going to play it, and we'll do it again later. But here's number one. Okay, now a lot of people, when they first try this stuff, here's what they usually sound like. So they have trouble popping in either the bass or the snare in between the hi-hat eighth notes. You notice that the hi-hat just kind of copied whatever was going on underneath. A lot of people do that at the beginning. Here's how to fix that. What you want to do is take that little spot of the beat, isolate it, put it under a microscope, and play it very slow, methodically, that particular pattern. So, and a three. I'm going to do it right now. If you do that enough, you'll get a sense of what this feels like to play in between and coinciding. Play the patterns very slow, and once you feel comfortable, you can pick up the tempo. But we're going to look at the first 12 exercises, and here is number one. Number two is based on number one. We're doing everything that was in number one. We're adding a 16th note at the very end of the beat. It falls in between the hi-hats, and we'll go back to the beginning when you repeat. Here's number two. Now in number three, we've got 16th notes falling at the end of every beat. So it's boom, boom, bop, boom, 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 bop, boom, boom. Remember that little concept of using a melodic approach with the bass and snare? That helps here too. So see if you can sing these things along with the bass and snare. That'll help you with the feel of the thing. Here's number three. Now in exercise 4, we're doing the same kind of rhythm, but we're playing some of those in-between 16ths on the snare. So we've got our little melody here. Boom, boom, bop, bop, boom, boom, bop, bop, boom. Okay, so you've got to pop that in between. Now if that feels weird, what you want to do is work that out. Okay, and work on that motion and then put it back in context. Here's number 4. And number 5 is just a variation on the same theme. Let's look at the melody. 2/8, dotted 8/16, 2/8, dotted 8/16. Melody is boom, boom, bop, boom, 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 bop, boom, 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 bop. Let's do that melody right now. Now, number 6, we have exactly the same rhythm, just a different voicing. Boom, boom, bop, bop, boom, boom, bop, bop, bass, bass, snare, snare, bass, bass, snare. Let's do that. Now And number 7, the melody is this. Boom, bop, ba-boom, boom, bop, shh. Open hi-hat on the and of 4. Let's try number 7. Now number 8, we've got exactly the same beat. The only thing that's moved is the open hi-hat. It's been moved over to the and of 1. Boom, ch, bop, ba-boom, boom, bop, boom, ch, bop, ba-boom, boom, bop. Here we go with number 8. And number 9 is exactly the same structure, the same melody again. So 7, 8, 9 are really basically the same beat. We've got a floating open hi-hat. And in number 9, the open hi-hat is on the first 8th note. Now that's a little bit, I don't think we've had that interaction here on this so far. And so what you do, your feet are doing this. On the first beat, your left foot's coming up, your right foot's coming down. Bop, ba-doom, boom, bop. Bop, ba-doom, doom, bop. Let's try this. Okay, number 10. Let's see. We've got actually the same structure. It's built on 7, 8, and 9. We've got an 8th rest on 3. So you pull out that bass drum. And you know, sometimes I think patterns are much more interesting with rests. Sometimes drummers don't like rests. It makes them uncomfortable. But I think you throw in a rest at the right spot and you get something interesting because you've got like a 16th note on the bass drum kind of hanging in space like this. Boom, boom, bop, boom, boom, bop, sh, boom, boom, bop. Boom, boom, bop, shh. Let's try number 10. And in number 11, it just gets busier. Boom, boom, bop, ba-doom, ba-doom, bop, boom, boom, bop. Ba-doom, ba-doom, bop. Your snare's playing in between a little bit there. Let's try 11. And number 12, that's also built on what we just got through doing in number 11. We're adding a 16th note at the end. Our melody becomes this. Boom, boom, bop, ba-doom, ba-doom, bop, ba-doom, boom, bop, ba-doom, ba-doom, bop, ba-doom. Here we go. Now let's go on to chart 4.